I have decided to fight Islam. Please pay attention to my statement. To fight Islam, not the political Islam, not the militant Islam, not the radical Islam, not the Wahhabi Islam, but Islam itself.
I hate political correctness in a way that I'm not a cultural relativist. I don't believe that cultures are equal. I believe that our culture is far better than a retarded Islamic culture.
And what was your goal here? What were you trying to do?
It was literally jihad in America. We would rent hotels, we would train in the basements on jihad in America.
But you weren't able to do what you did in Israel, bomb and kill. Why not?
Because the education here is to prepare the way for a future jihad in America when the time is ready.
Okay,
So you can see why we in Britain might be a little hesitant about welcoming these kinds of values into our society. But of course this hasn't prevented our spineless government from pandering to these fanatics at every opportunity, most recently promising state funding for hundreds more Islamic schools, thus encouraging segregation and separation in society and sowing the seeds of conflict for future generations to have to deal with.
And you were a Muslim up until September 11th?
Yes.
And you left Islam then, why?
Well, I left Islam because I could not combine my conscience with the commands that are in the Quran and the example of the Prophet Muhammad, or following the example of the Prophet Muhammad. And what Bin Laden and those who are on his side wanted with 9/11 was to put Muslims in a position where they either choose his way or they choose what he calls the enemies of Islam.
Here you have pictures of the Greek symbols translated in the Bible as 666. This gold symbol on the left is Arabic for Allah, or in the name of Allah. When this symbol is turned and mirrored, you will find the Greek 666 in both Islam and in the name for Allah.
Muslims need to come to grips with the fact that it is not always the extremism that we object to. It is simply your religion. It is not the extremists who condemn homosexuality. It is not the extremists who support restrictions on free speech. It is not the extremists who oppose women's reproduction rights. Only in Islam can one be labeled not an extremist simply because he has no immediate desire to blow you up.
It doesn't do you squat when you are faced with an enemy who believes that beheading you is an order from Allah. And this is how we stayed alive for another 2 years, until 1978. One day, one of our militia members, the Christian militia in the south, came to us and he said, I just want to let you know that tonight we're going to be attacked. And we may die because we had lost so many people and I don't think we can fight. And I just want to wish you a merciful death. And I remember dressing in my burial clothes at age 13 because I did not want to look ugly when I'm dead, because I wanted to look pretty.
All of the world belongs to Allah, and we will live according to the Sharia wherever we are. This is a fundamental belief of the Muslims. You know, if I was to go to the jungle tomorrow, I'm not going to live like animals.
Amjad, basically a lot of what you're saying is, it's my way or the highway. I mean, how does that kind of logic fit into a democratic state like the one we live in now and like the one you live in? You live here by choice. Do you not believe in democracy?
No, I don't at all. We believe that people must live according to the Sharia.
That would mean in a country such as Britain, people would have their hands cut off for robbery, would be stoned for what you call adultery, hanged. You can see that happening.
One day the Sharia will be implemented in Britain. It's a matter of time.
He seems to be dying, Barnabas. He seems to be dying.
He has no wish to see our church perish, I'm sure of that.
Who?
God.
But it is perishing. It is perishing. In our hands it's perishing. He said, bring my name before the nations and their kings. That's what he said.
Which nations? What kings? I mean, our church. Where would you go with it?
Where would I go with it? To the west.